Longtime Liberian businessman George Kailondo is in the news for all the wrong reason. As you may already know, one of his tank trucks was uh, arrested in Grand Cape Moun County with 40 cartons of banned tramadol pills, right? And he immediately appeared on the news. I mean, on social media, refuting any type of knowledge, of the incident or the crime, and he distanced himself from the entire situation, right? Now, according to the LDEA, this matter is, under investigation, and they will try to see if this truck was actually carrying these cartons of tramadol with the knowledge or the how do you call it, with the permission of George Kailondo, the owner of the truck himself. And a lot of people argue that in, it doesn't matter whether he knows about it or not. He should definitely be liable for crimes that are being committed using his vehicle. You know, and I'm gonna definitely side with the people that think like that. Now, trust me, I don't have anything personal against Mr. Kailondo. He has been a long time businessman in Liberia, and but I believe that with great powers comes with great responsibilities. You cannot have a huge company, that have multiple trucks, multiple vehicles, and buildings in the country, making huge chunk of money at the end of every year, rightfully so. And then you have your trucks being used to transport drugs, to distribute drugs in the country. And with all that on top of the fact that we are at the height of our fight against drugs, in recent years, and yet your trucks are being used to transport drugs from one place to the next. Now, personally, do I believe that he knows about this or he knew about it? Like he's in on it? Personally, what my God is telling me, I don't believe that he knew about it. I don't believe that he knew about it because, for one, they when you hear the size of the drugs, like when they try to describe how many drug was it or how big was it, it's 40 cartons of drug of tramadol. The cartons are very, very small cartons. It's not like big boxes of cartons. No, it's just small little cartons like this. You can even hold one of it in your palm, just like that, right? And 40 of them. So I'm saying, like, why would a huge business mogul in the country risk his business, right, to transport just 40 cartons of small tramadol pills from from Monrovia to, from one place to the next? I don't know if the car was moving from Monrovia to Cape Mount or from Cape Mount to Monrovia. But yes, it was arrested in Cape Mount, right? The car was stopped and searched and found with the drugs in Cape Mount County. And so I'm saying that why would somebody do that, put their business on the line for that small, amount of drugs? If they are going to do that, if they're going to, I believe if he was to do that, it won't be something very, very, very as small as 40 cartons of, tramadol pills. Now, with that being said, I believe that he had no knowledge of what was happening because his business is not just him, transporting petroleum for himself, but he's also doing it for other people. Like people who come and rent his car and lease his car and use it to transport their petroleum from one place to the next. So I'm saying that, yeah, and actually he said that, somebody had, rented a car, but he did not know about it. As a matter of fact, to his knowledge, the car was not in service, like the car was parked. He only know about it when the news, broke, right? That, one of his car was arrested in Cape Mount with drugs on it. So now I'm saying personally, I don't believe that he knew about it at all. I don't believe that he knew about it, mainly because the amount of drugs that was found on the car is too small for him to put his business on the line for. Now, whether he knew about it or not, I think he can still be found liable. He can still be found somewhat guilty of the crime. Because, like I said earlier, with great powers comes with great responsibilities. You have a huge company in the country, and on top of that, you are a lawyer, a very, very, lawyer, record lawyer, a lawyer with a long record, right? Like with a long history. People know you, right? You can't be that reckless. You have a huge business, a transportation business, and people are using your car without your knowledge. How can you let that happen? Forget about even people using your car without your knowledge. Nobody's supposed to use your car without you knowing why they're using your car for. Everything that is being transported on your car, you should know better than anybody in the country that you're supposed to be aware of it. Because if anything found on your car being transported, you're going to be held liable. That's your service. It's your transporting. You can say, oh, no, I just get in the car and I know what in transporting. Oh, so when you're selling guns, somebody can buy a gun, you're not asking why they're buying the gun for. And somebody say, I want to hire your car, I'm going somewhere, coming by. You're not asking what are you carrying, what are you going for, what are you going to do. You just give it to them. It's your responsibility to ask, not just ask. It's your responsibility to investigate to make sure that they are not doing anything illegal using your property. Hence why when even landlords give their houses to rent to other people, they always come every now and then to kind of say hi. It's not about saying hi. It's checking on whether the person who is renting the house is actually taking care of the house, and not just taking care of the house, that they are not using the house for something that the house owner might not want his or her house to be used for. So I believe that Mr. Kailondo is liable to some degree. It might not amount to jail time, but it may amount to certain type of punishment, whatever, whether it be fines or probation or whatever the case may be. He is a lawyer. He should know the law better than anybody in the country. So going on air and just refuting any type of accusation or allegation or any links with the crime committed, it's not gonna just set you scot free just like that. I don't think so personally. You should know better. You have a motor vehicle transportation, company. You can't just your car cannot be parked to your knowledge while it's in another country. Like, come on, man, that doesn't make sense. I think there, even him is not being truthful to say that he did not know that the car was not in service. Come on, man. You can't be in Monrovia while your car in Grand Cape Mall. Then you not know that your car in Grand Cape Mall. You are too connected. You are too connected not to know where your cars are. And you see that you don't have GPS tracker. You don't need to have GPS trackers to not to know that your car is not in town. You should come on, man. You're not a kid. So I personally don't think that he knew about the drugs, but I believe that he knew that his car was definitely in service. He's just trying to distance himself from the entire situation, which is understandable. But if you have nothing to hide, you don't need to lie. You know what I mean? You don't need to bury anything. If you have just come clean, because regardless of what you say or do, the truth is definitely going to come to surface. And I mean surface. And when people find out that you lie about even the littlest things, they will now have reasons to believe that, oh, maybe you are actually lying about almost everything else. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't believe that Mr. Kalondo is transporting drugs, but I definitely do believe that he is lying when he say that he didn't know that his car was even in service, and I believe that he should definitely be liable to some degree, 100%.
Like, follow and subscribe.